988 is losing funding. This is the federally mandated and state-run service to connect callers with crisis counselors who can give mental health services in an emergency. However, it's been struggling under a $7 million funding deficit and a growing suicide rate statewide. To give us some more insight about this, we're joined now by Stephen Simpson with the Tribune, who recently reported about this. Stephen, thanks so much for being with us. We always appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
We want to start and break down the funding problems for 988. What are the challenges that it's facing?
Well, presently 988 call centers funding relies on the federal mental health block grant from the Substance Abuse Mental Health Services Administration. Last year, Texas Health and Human Services allocated $14 million through this block grant for operations of 988. However, in 2023, the projected operational cost for these 5 centers is around $21 million, which suggests that the funding is not matching the cost right now.
Why is federal funding declining?
Well, the funding is kind of in 2 parts. One, it's being funded by the American Rescue Plan, which is a COVID-19 fund, which has a deadline of this year. Another one of the funding options is the Bipartisan Community Act, which has a deadline of 2031. So both of these have a cutoff date. The second part is that the federal government never fully planned on funding this. This was always meant to be on the states.
All right, so maybe the Texas legislature will take this up at some point in the upcoming year. So what can happen so that more money is indeed put toward keeping this vital service going?
Well, you kind of mentioned it there, but state funding is key here. One of the answers is a bill being proposed by Senator Jose Mendez of San Antonio, which is Senate Bill at 188, which would create a trust fund, which would be kind of supported by surcharges collected from cell phone bills. This has always been a kind of an option since the creation of 988, but for some reason the state hasn't gone with it just as yet. But this bill would put 988 pretty much on the same level as 911.
Okay, so we will have to see whether any of these solutions will make it some headway during this next legislative session. But for now, Stephen Simpson, we appreciate you joining us and for reporting about this.
Thank you.
Thanks again.